All right, this is demo video number 4. So we've done our cubes, right? You've turned in a photo of both of those drawings for credit. You have done video number 2, where you have basic 2D structures, buildings and windows that are flat, right? You've done video number 3, where we talked about adding variety to some architectural features and how to use the respective vanishing points. You've turned in a photo of this as an exit ticket. And now we're going to start 3D objects, right? Balconies, windows that are pushed in, driveways, etc. Okay? So if you don't have any flat 2D features, right, like I have on this building here on your 3D side of blank buildings, I want you to pause the video now and get caught up to this point with me. So do that now if you haven't already done so. All right, so the first thing I want to show you to do is how to push windows in so that they look like the glass is farther inside the building than the actual wall. And again, this is in the instruction packet as well, but this shows you the breakdown and the order of operations. So if you want, you're more than welcome to have that packet out and open and reference it. I would also suggest writing the steps down as we go along, just because I think it helps the brain process it as we go through. So 3D objects, right? This is the windows that are pushed in. So you're going to use the opposite VPs to create that 3D object. Okay. So for this one, I'm on the right side of my building. So I'm going to start on the corner farthest from me, right? And I'm going to use my LVP over here. Be sure you have these labeled. Okay, and I'm going to draw, think of it as looking at the inside of a box, right? So I'm going to draw those corners, pushing the window into the side of the building with the upper right corner and my LVP. So I'm going to draw those lines in however far I want that window to recede into the space. Now, if your window or door is below the horizon line, right, you'll switch to the bottom corner. So I'm going to push this door in as well while I do my windows. So it looks, it's going to look like there's a little alcove there. So all 4 of these lines are going to the LVP because I'm on the right side of the building because we're using the opposite vanishing points. My second step is to create that inside corner here. Okay, so the end of each of these lines is going to now go to, because it's a top edge of the window, right? That's the rule, top and bottom. Now recede to respective VPs again. Okay, so I'm on the right side. Now I'm going to take that inside corner. I'm going to draw it out to where it disappears, the edge closest to me. And then I'm going to draw the right side parallel with the right side of the opening. So there's this is now the glass, right? Same thing here. Line it up with the RVP. Draw it to where it disappears behind the front corner. And then do the same thing for the third window. So those windows all look like they're pushed into the side of the building. Okay, here's my glass. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the door, right? So I'm taking that inside corner of the box, if you will. I'm going to line it up with the RVP. So there's the ground. I could even erase that line if it helps you visually. And that inside corner is going to run parallel with the outside edges of the door. Okay, I could add a little doorway in here. Maybe even a little sign in there. Now this is my left, this is my right. Or no, this now becomes the left side because this is the right side of my building. So this now officially becomes a left because it goes in, and a right. So if I wanted to make a little window or a sign right here, I draw the edge of it closest to me first. Those would go back. The top and bottom edges would go back to the LVP. Back edge would run parallel with the front edge. All right, so I could have a sign there and a door there. So pause the video. I'd like you to do a set of pushed-in windows on a left side and a right side anywhere in the drawing. If you want to do a set over here, you can do it over here on this side. You could try it on this side here. Totally up to you. But pause the video and do that now so you at least have practiced it. Save this set of windows. We're going to do balconies for this set. So pause the video and do that now. All right, so now we're going to do balconies. They're not hard, right? But you got to definitely do them in order. So for your balcony, I'm going to write the instruction over here. So step 1 is to connect the bottom corners with the opposite VP and draw out from the side of the building. So here's where it differs, right? We drew the line into the window when we pushed the windows in. So for this, I'm on the left side of my building, so I'm going to use the RVP, and I'm going to draw a line sticking out. It looks like a pole sticking out of the side of the building like this. Or like this, maybe that makes more sense. So I'm going to do it for the bottom edges here. Here. And my bottom row here. Notice how the direction changed a little bit, right? Because now in this bottom balcony, I'm below the horizon line. So trust the rule, that is correct, okay? Step 2, now we're going to draw the new corner of the balcony up from the end of those poles. So the pole comes out and then the pole goes up, right? So So I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to make sure that that is running parallel with the sides of the windows. And they should line up together with each other as well. That one was a little long. And you're just going to do it for this first one because we're not sure where this one's going to land. All right, this back edge is going to be the last line we draw. So think of this as a cube above the horizon line, like we did here. Okay, we're drawing that cube onto the side of the building. So now I'm going to connect step 3. Connect top and bottom edges of the balcony to both VPs, just like we did on our cubes. So we have the bottom right edges. That's how we attached it to the building. So I'm going to draw the top left edge. There's the right sides of my balcony. All right, and now I'm going to go back and connect the top and bottom to the LVP for each one. Bottom left edge, top left edge. And draw it a little farther than you think it's probably going to go, because we can always erase that little extra line. But here's what this line tells us. Where this line meets the end of that pole, there's that back edge. All right? That's why we saved it. Same thing down here. That's where the far left side of the balcony is going to fall. All right, and that's the last step. Step number 4, back edges run parallel with front corner. Okay. So my last step is I'm going to line up my ruler and make sure these left edges all line up with each other. And there is the left side of my balcony, the right side of my balcony, and the bottom. Left, right, bottom. Now this one has a left and a right, but there is no bottom because actually it's below the horizon line. So there's my left side, here's my right side. We, in theory, could see into it, so I'm going to draw this edge right here just to reconnect that inside edge back to the building. Okay, so at this point I want you to pause your video and I want you to practice several sets of balconies. We did one on the left side, maybe try a set of balconies on the right side over here. So pause the video, do that now. If you need to rewind the video to where I get to the steps, you can do that. I'm going to draw a balcony over, 2 balconies over here doing the same process. If you want to watch. Whoa, that is not correct. So I've got my openings. I draw Draw the poles coming out of the bottoms of the windows. Draw the pole coming up, straight up from that. And then I connect that new corner closest to me back to both vanishing points. Now, if you want to do a driveway or like a parking garage, things like that, you're going to start with your basic doorway, right? It's very similar to this. You just take the line all the way into the door frame where it disappears. So I've got my door. I'm on the left side of the building, so if I want my driveway to go into the building this way, I'm going to use my RVP. I'm going to draw it all the way out to the top edge of the sidewalk and straight down. I'll do the same thing for the other corner and straight down. And then add that bottom edge of the sidewalk over here. So if you wanted to do a drive-through, right, it would be the same use of the opposite vanishing point. Now, I've also had people ask about streetlights. So, and here's what I'm going to do. I want you to get this far and comfortable with this process for your exit ticket for your 3D objects, right? I want several sets of balconies, some pushed-in doorways and alcoves. If you want to try little objects on the sidewalk, you can do that, but it's not necessary for today's exit ticket. So this is your basic 3D exit ticket drawing that'll be turned in for credit.